Who is the most famous kite surfer? It's Ruben Lenten.
Full speed, full power, and breaking my arm. Dislocated my kneecap, was bone on bone. I shattered my ankle in 20 pieces.
You have a different pain level.
That's my signature move. I woke up during the surgery on my ankle and then in 2015 I got diagnosed with cancer. 4-meter waves and like super strong wind. That's how I invented the mega loop. And maybe a little bit addiction to adrenaline.
Ruben Lenten isn't just a legend in the world of kitesurfing. He's a symbol of resilience, courage and pure passion. Known for his iconic mega loops and fearless riding styles, he's also someone who faced life's hardest storms head on. From a shattered ankle after a brutal crash to a battle with cancer, Ruben has been knocked down more than once. But he has always gotten back up, stronger, wiser, and still chasing the wind. This conversation is not about kiting, but about life, dealing with setbacks, embracing risks, finding strength in vulnerability, and what it means to lead by example, especially now as a father, inspiring his own kids with the same spirit of freedom and fearlessness that shaped his own path. Get ready for an honest and powerful and uplifting conversation, and for the reminder that living fully isn't about avoiding risk, but about rising every time we fall. My name is Dr. Georg Besar. I'm a specialist in trauma surgery and orthopedics based in Vienna. Please note, the content shared in this podcast is not a substitute for a medical consultation and does not constitute medical advice. This podcast is fully self-funded and receives no support from public institutions or industry sponsors. All information provided here is as complete as possible and entirely free of charge. If you would like to support us, you can do so by simply subscribing or liking our channel. Thank you, and now let's get into the podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome to this awesome podcast. We are sitting here in George's house, who I ran into at a coffee shop yesterday, and it turned out that I am renting his house for the next month. I was in touch with his wife, and he turns out to be an orthopedic trauma surgeon, and I've got to see quite a few of those in my lifetime. So today is going to be a very cool chat, something similar like we had in the coffee shop yesterday, as I think there's plenty of interesting subjects to speak about from both our knowledge and experience. So expect a fun, couple minutes to spend with us. And nice to meet you, George. And thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you, Ruben. Usually my podcast is called Morgenbesprechung. This is what you call what you have in the hospital in the mornings, where the staff meets. It's the morning meeting, and usually we discuss the cases, the traumatic cases, the difficult cases from the day before. So I guess you have been a lot of times in a Morgenbesprechung in a hospital. So I thought that would be a perfect fit if we do this podcast together and talk about injuries, risks, family. You're a family man now. Yeah, you're not only a extreme sport guy. And how do you want to start? Going directly to your injuries, or?
Nah, let's start with the fun part.
What is the fun part?
I think, where are we at? This is your house. We're in Cape Town. What are you doing here?
I'm actually, my wife built a house, and I'm enjoying the time here. I would love to live longer. Like, I escape winters, actually. I think like you, and of course, I'm windsurfing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then you came to the perfect place. Lots of wind.
Do you know windsurfing?
I used to windsurf a little bit on a lake with like a ophaalkoord, how do you call it? With a rope and get my sail up and then cruise on the lake. But I was very little, and then kitesurfing came around and took my heart.
But your father was a windsurfer, I heard about that.
My father was a windsurfer, motocrosser, snowboarder, very adventurous family I grew up in.
Okay, and what did you say that you started kitesurfing? Because there's always this, like what do you call it in English? Like this tension, let's say.
Yeah, rivalry.
Yeah, rivalry, exactly, between windsurfing and kitesurfing. Like when my friends, when I tell my friends I go kitesurfing, like they're like, oh, you can't do that. I was kitesurfing a couple of years, but
Yeah, I think it's two different breeds of people. I think windsurfers and kitesurfers, you can immediately spot who's a windsurfer and who is a kitesurfer.
True,
I
because
think.
I think you love the air. That's what I think. If you love the air, if you don't love the flying, you go kite surfing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think, yeah, the windsurfers, they're a bit more to themselves, a bit more serious.
Older.
Quite a bit older because it's an older sport, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the water, they have their own ways of riding, their own spots where they go. But here in Cape Town, it's a lot of mix.
That's the awesome thing here. You have a lot of space, you know, and you have these different areas. Like you have windsurfers more upwind, and then you have on Blauberg the kite surfing guys. But you surf on Sunset Beach actually.
Yeah, for the windsurfers, it's great here in Sunset Beach, but for kite surfing, it's a little bit too offshore and it gets too gusty to do the jumps. But I've been coming here for 20 years and always for like 3-4 months each summer to escape the winter at home, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, every time you find new spots and good spots to ride, and you know exactly where to go when the conditions are good for that spot. So
Yeah.
many epic sessions to be had here.
Do you think kite surfing is more dangerous than windsurfing?
I think horseback riding is even more dangerous than both of those sports.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
It's on my top 3 sports I wouldn't allow to do my children, like horse riding.
Exactly. People always think like water sports and windsurfing and kitesurfing, they're so dangerous. And
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they're risky sports because, yeah, you put yourself out there, there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of force involved, but the amount of times that it really goes wrong is pretty minimum.
What I see on kite surfers is you're very fast at the level where you can go on yourself on the water, glide and jump. So for windsurfers, they need, always say years. So they got experience. They got experience with the water, with the sea, with the conditions, with other people on the water. Kite surfers, they make a course about a week, and they think like, "Wow, I'm great." And then you see them going out sometimes here on Sunset Beach, like with no experience. You see that like this guy maybe started his kite twice, and
Yeah.
but they can go out. They are not getting punished immediately.
Yeah, I mean, the progression is a bit quicker. I mean, you can find yourself in the air with kitesurfing faster than with windsurfing. I think it takes years to jump with windsurfing just because of all the equipment and the technique and stuff. So
No, you don't go over the shore break after you just get punished immediately. Nothing can happen. Material breaks. You learned your lesson. You go to the start.
much safer, I'd say,
Yeah.
windsurfing. But then now with the winging and the foiling, you see a lot of kids as well. They get into the supping first, then yeah, maybe some foiling, and then with the wing. So the
Yeah.
water sports are getting very accessible these days.
I don't know about the winging. I haven't seen a lot of accidents with winging. I rarely see accidents with windsurfing. When I was working I was working in a big trauma hospital in Vienna, but kitesurfing was number 1 from water sports.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like ankle injuries, like when they jump and jump into shallow water, because it's really nice to go over shallow water. And the other thing is the strings. You know, the strings like going around fingers and something like.
Some cuts, yeah.
Yeah, like no, it's cuts, cut-offs.
Cut-offs, really.
Amputations, yeah.
Yeah, or like
That happens.
around the ear or the neck, like.
Yeah, that I haven't seen that. Or like all the dragging on the beach. I saw a nice accident of you, like when you do, I think, a mega loop or something, and then you get dragged on the beach.
That's my signature move.
The dragging on the beach or the mega loop.
That's what I do.
You invented the mega loop. Is it true? Is it true?
Yeah, I mean, I've been kitesurfing since I was 12 years old, and of course, kites are being looped before.
Yeah.
But when I was around 16, I started riding in storms and really jumping higher, and I started jumping higher and looping my kite lower, and that's how I invented the mega loop, or basically evolved the kite loop into the mega loop.
So this is basically for the non-kitesurfers, a bigger looping around the kite in a bigger circle.
Exactly. So you jump 10, 20, 30 meters high as you could possibly go, and then you keep steering your backhand, and the kite will make like a full circle through the wind, and then produce the most power out of the kite, because the wind fully blows into the kite and just yanks you way downwind, sometimes over 150 to 200 meters far, and then the kite catches you again, and then you go for a nice landing.
If you do this the first time, what do you think? Like, oh, that could be fun, or like, do you just ignore that it could go wrong?
No, I mean, you go out of your comfort zone step by step, I suppose. You don't go from jumping to doing a mega loop. First, you start with some better jumps, then you do some heli loops, then you do some kite loops, and then you slowly pop up. Yeah, you build your balls up to that mega loop.
But but there's a high risk of injury. That must be somewhere in your.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, we all have fear, I think. Also, in your job, you must have fear. Every cut needs to be precise. Everything you do needs to be according a procedure or plan.
Yes, but in my profession, I talked with a pilot yesterday. We talked before, and in my profession, I never cut myself. That's a big difference about taking
Not
risks.
yourself, but the patient in the wrong
Yeah,
spot.
you have the responsibility about other people, another person, and this person has already an injury or some problem. So you're just fixing a problem. So there is already a problem which was not your fault. So you just try to do it better than it was before, and but it never affects me. I will not be the dead guy afterwards or the injured guy afterwards. And in your profession, the risk is always on you, except you hit another person with the kite.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a different type of fear, of course. But I mean, we all have fear, and also in your job, like it's fear to do something wrong. Maybe it's like not yourself getting hurt, but it's the responsibility you have for that patient and to get the best outcome. Do you have any fear? Is there any risk of messing things up or making things worse?
It's always in your bag. Especially in the things like you do 100 of times. There's always a possibility. There are always accidents. Accidents happen. And accidents you cannot plan, and you cannot always there are always a couple of things that have to go wrong to have a bigger accident. Yeah, like a person dies not because you just make a wrong cut. There have to be some certain points around this which have also go wrong. Like the anesthetist has a problem. I don't know, the nurse forgot a tool on the table.
Patient allergic
exactly,
reaction.
the patient has a problem you didn't know before. So we all try to eliminate all that risks, but the accident happens, like in sports, like driving a car.
But it's a small percentage, right?
It's a small percentage, of course.
Exactly.
It's not like you drive a car totally drunken, nothing happens, but then you have the person at the same moment going over the street, and then you don't see it because you're drunken, and so the things come together. And it's the same thing in the operating room, and it's always somewhere in your back because you are hurting another person, not yourself. Maybe this puts a lot of pressure. I have this. I told this story before, but I have this little blood monitor. It's blood pressure monitor. It's like a little device, and it's quite interesting because it measures all the time my blood pressure level, also in the night. And I just bought it because I was just interested how it feels like this Apple Watches, and you wear it during your surgery. You cannot wear it, but before your surgery, you get a higher blood pressure levels. And that were not difficult surgeries. That was surgeries like I always do. Like I don't feel like anxiety or anything. I don't even think about it.
Just a routine surgery.
Yeah, but you're always there and you control everything. You're the dirigent. I don't know in English.
Yeah,
You know this guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, and you're responsible for everything that happens around. And that, I think, that puts the stress level up.
The conductor.
Yeah, and it's not a kind of healthy stress, I think.
Not a healthy stress to have it too often, right?
No, but
it's normalized for your feeling.
Yeah, I don't feel it.
Because you're so used to it.
I didn't feel it until I memeasured it.
Okay, wow.
Because there was another thing, is when you do night shifts, for example.
But isn't this happening because it helps us to stay focused and to stay alert?
Yeah, of course. I think if you go out there and make a loop, it helps you to stay focused and not to think about, I don't know, what what the problems with your wife are or something. Like you just focus on the mega loop, otherwise you crash. But there's also that kind of unhealthy stress, like you do a night shift, and you just there is no patient coming in the night. You sleep 7-8 hours, but You wake up like you have the horrible night. You didn't sleep well because you know that something could happen. And you didn't run, you didn't do any exercise, you're just laying around and your stress levels go up. And this is unhealthy, I think, over the years. And
So
I felt it.
how can you manage that? Like, because
You do sport.
exactly. I think that's
You
the
do
biggest
sport.
relief.
Yeah,
And
you have to get the adrenaline pushing through your veins and get all that negative stress hormones out of your body.
so daily exercises to flush that stress out, I think is a very good way to deal with it. Maybe some meditation to get grounded again. But a lot of people, they might be scared of injuries or even of surgeries and even the hospital. But like I said, even with kite surfing, with doing surgery, there's always this with flying, driving your car. There's always like a very low percentage that goes wrong actually, but people still have a lot of fear for it. So it's pretty weird, like there's only 3% or maybe 1% that goes wrong, and people still focus on that risk.
Yeah, it's like with flying.
Uh-huh.
I hate flying. I know it's safe. I can read old papers about flying, how safe it is. I can talk with the pilot yesterday and he has no fear about flying. And when I go in a plane, I hate it.
Oh, wow.
I really hate it.
Wow.
I only do it because
you don't have control over it, or because
exactly.
you're locked in?
I want to sit in the front.
Oh, wow.
I want to sit in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that, but
No,
yeah.
I'm pretty easy to let go.
Yeah, you like to drive with other people in the car and not steering the wheel?
No, I like to steer the wheel for sure, but
see.
I'm also, okay, in the car I have it
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
but just because I'm so used to driving, and I don't know,
Yeah,
to put your trust in someone else, it's difficult for sure.
it's difficult, yeah. And driving is much more dangerous than probably everything what we do.
For sure, yeah, because there's
Yeah.
so many movements, you do it so often.
Exactly, people die with car accidents. They don't
Exactly.
die with surgery, or they don't die with kite surfing. Usually.
Exactly, yeah. Tell me a little bit about how you found your passion and profession. How did you roll into becoming a trauma surgeon?
I just like to repair stuff. I always repaired, I don't know, everything in my room. Everything. I repaired the toilet. It worked until 2 years ago. I did it with 12. So I started very early to just fix things and solve puzzles. And this is trauma surgery.
Mhm.
And I never wanted to be a doctor. I never wanted to be. I couldn't see blood when I was young. I hated it, and I thought the last thing I do is medicine, and what do you call it? Law.
Yeah.
I still hate law.
It's never right.
It's never right. Yeah, but then I wanted to do mechanics, and when I was at the military service, they learned anatomy. And I'm like, oh, that's almost the same. And I got hooked with anatomy. And so I started to do medicine. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Like,
But through your military services, you got exposed to it and
yeah,
kind
it
of
was
interested in
you
it.
know I was a truck driver there, and they needed somebody who driving the ambulance car, and you had to make this additional course for this. So yeah, that's how it came to lose the fear about blood. I still don't like getting cut or getting injected. Have some nice YouTube, Instagram videos where I get an injection. That's
Oh,
not
really?
fake.
Oh, wow.
I hate it.
No way.
That's why I asked you yesterday if you have a lower pain level than other people. Because I have a very high pain level. I hate pain. I hate the dentist. I avoid injuries. Like, I'm very careful. When I'm doing windsurfing, I'm very risk averse.
Okay, but a high pain level, so you have pain quickly, or no?
No, I have pain quickly. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I don't like pain a lot.
Okay. Yeah. No, I thought that's when you have a low pain level.
Oh yeah,
so-
yeah, exactly.
So with a high pain level, yeah, I'm not that scared of pain or needles or anything.
No.
I woke up during the surgery on my ankle, and
You woke up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's the big.
They were
That's
still
one of the
like, "Wow."
that's one of the biggest fear about doctors. The patient wakes up and feels what you're doing. It's not nice.
Exactly. I was so crazy, like how much force they put on my ankle and stuff, and like they were so rough.
Oh, that was the first surgery.
Yeah.
Where they put the fixateur extern on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I don't know if it was that or putting the last plates in.
the last plates in. How many surgeries did you have on that ankle?
Well, one with the external fixator, of
Yeah.
course. Then they took that out after 2 weeks, and then they put the 3 plates in.
Yeah.
I think I woke up in that one.
Oh shit, that's not nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all in the mind, right? So
Is it?
yeah, of course. Like I could have feared myself out, or just I was interested in the process as well. Like I was interested to see them at work, and I just focus on the interesting parts. And I mean, I'm not scared of blood or needles or anything, so I can handle it.
So
And
you have a different pain level for sure.
yeah, I think it's just the experience in the mind, I think.
I remember my grandmother. She always went to the dentist, and she never took a anesthesia. And I was like, shit.
How do you do that?
When I go to the dentist, I take 2 painkillers before I go there.
What a powerhouse.
Seriously. Full disclosure, yeah?
But this was my only fear, the dentist.
Really?
But now I can go there easily.
Really?
Because I changed dentist to a good friend of mine, and I fully trust her, and I lay there.
Yeah, girls are better. At the dentist,
Yeah,
better.
I don't know. You just like I don't know.
No,
Now I can do whatever, and even without anesthesia, they filled some holes the other time, or put in a implant.
Yeah,
And
without anesthesia,
yeah.
you see?
Yeah, easy. Yeah, and it's just the mind. Like
No,
you
it's
can
not.
control.
You think so?
You're breathing, and yeah.
But why would you do that? Why would you enjoy the pain?
No, because it wasn't painful.
It wasn't painful.
It wasn't
There was no pain.
No, because the tooth had already died.
Okay.
So then, yeah, there was a little bit of nerve pain there, and of course it's not nice, but it's just I had to put my mind over it, I had to overcome it, and I just focused on my breathing and actually feeling that it wasn't that painful. Of course, if they hit your nerve and stuff, that is very, very painful. You don't want that, but it's mostly the fear and the load you put upon yourself by thinking that the experience is very bad. But now I'm used to it, and I can just go to the dentist easy.
Is the same reason why you can do crazy stuff on the water? Is it a mindset?
Of course, everything is a mindset. And I also think fear is just our survival mechanism. And I think human nature, we automatically tend to focus on the scary things, on the drama things that made an impact on us. We get a lot of stories from other people from, oh, this is dangerous, this happened to me. So we're programmed with a lot of bad shit, which actually just fills you up with fear. And if you don't shake that loose, then yeah, you cannot do any of your dreams, because all of your dreams include some risk. And if you are...
But you can take financial risk, for example.
Financial risk, yeah, that's easy.
Yes.
Take it. It will come back. Like whatever you give, it will come back. So
Have you been like this also as a kid?
Yeah, I was always a daredevil, of course. So it's also the type of person that you are. But I think breaking through fear is one of the things that we all have to do, because we all get blocked by fear. And how I see this is like fear can come from all 7 areas of life. So physical, mental fear, yeah, familial fear, intellectual fear, I'm too stupid to do this, or I'm going to look stupid. Societal fear, if you're on the beach, you want to try something new, they think, oh, I'm going to be a stupid guy, or yeah, what will the guys think about me if I make a mistake? You can have cultural, spiritual fear. Yeah, what is it going to do with my being? Financial fear, if I break my leg now, I don't have enough money to survive. Professional fear, if I break my leg, I cannot do my work.
Yeah.
So from all the 7 areas, you can get a lot of fears. And how I like to break through them is, yeah, in nature, you see that everything is in balance. Whatever happens, there's always equal drawbacks and benefits. And that's also with your fear. Like if you can feel fear coming up, you can only list the drawbacks. Oh, I cannot do this. But for all the drawbacks, are equal benefits. So if you see the benefits as well, you cannot work really hard anymore, so you can not provide for your family a thing. But then you have more time at home and more time with your family, and other things start flowing. So it always balances things out. So I think our human nature focuses on the drawbacks, but we have to equal them out and make sure that everything is equal, and then you can neutralize fear.
So it's because you made a very interesting post yesterday about that topic. But I think it was yesterday about the topic going out on the water, and you experience fear. So I was thinking before you did that you don't have fear.
A lot of fear. We all have it.
You just ignore it, like you blind it out and go on the water, like fuck it. So
I mean, yes, that is
but
the
seriously,
solution.
you get punished from nature.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you have these blocks. Like I always try to learn the front loop, and then I got punished and I stopped. And the question was maybe, what is the benefit for me doing the front loop?
What is the benefit of you doing the front loop?
What is the benefit of doing the front loop?
That it's your dream, that you feel fully expressed, that you can be yourself, because it is in your mind. Maybe your ego is telling you from, oh, my friends are doing the push loop or the front loop, I need to do this crazy stunt. But your survival mechanism is telling you, I don't need this stunt, it's not going to benefit my family, it's not going to benefit my performance, because I want to do windsurfing for a long time. This push loop or front loop, it's going to up the excitement a little bit, but it's too much risk for me.
Exactly.
So you make your own assessment. So maybe you
are the person I make a different calculation than you.
Exactly. So that is totally fine. So you don't need that front loop. Yeah. And there doesn't need to be a benefit in the front loop, but only if that urge is bigger than...
So where does the urge come from?
Yeah, that can be your ego.
Where does it come from? In your case, when you were young, you had that urge very early.
Very early. I think for me it's been... kitesurfing has been an outlet for my feelings and expressions. So my parents got divorced when I was 6 years old, where I was always kind of in a turbulent environment, and I felt free at the beach. Or on my skis, I always used to go 100 miles an hour. Like I always need to go. Like,
you're one of those.
Yeah. I just need to go full speed, full power in everything I do. So, of course, that's a bit my human nature. But where does it come from? Yeah, I don't know. Just an energy outlet. It's inside of me to get it, maybe a little bit addiction to adrenaline.
Have you had from the beginning of your kitesurfing career just you saw the possibility that you can be the top of the top?
I never cared about being the top of the top. Like competitions don't do anything with me. If I win a competition,
really?
Like I don't get goosebumps. If my friend win competition and they care, I get goosebumps for them, like because Eric, he was very competitive, or my cousin Kevin, they all wanted to win. I never had that. I never wanted to win. I don't know, maybe.
But you won.
I won several times, but just by...
Is this the reason?
Going full
because
power.
You had no pressure?
I mean, I always like to feel free and live life to the fullest. I think that is my purpose here on Earth, to just live life free and to the fullest. And that's realizing your dreams. So doing whatever feels good to you.
I think you're a very interesting character in kitesurfing, because I know your name. And I don't know the names of any kitesurfers.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years. It's a small world.
No, yesterday I asked ChatGPT, who is the most famous kitesurfer. Have you ever done that?
No.
It's Ruben Lenten.
Really? No way. That's funny. I mean, there's a bunch of us out there.
Because I did that because yesterday we talked about the old times, like Robbie Nash. Everybody knows Robbie Nash. And I mentioned Brian Talma. And you can't remember Brian Talma. I mean, you're, I think, 9 years younger?
Yeah, I'm 88.
88. Yeah, 8 years. 8 years younger. So, and a lot of the guys, like for me, they were legends. Like, and you have legends in sports like Tiger Woods, for example, or Michael Jordan or something. And nowadays, I see less and less legends in all the kind of sports. Like there are brands, but you don't see the personalities. Yeah. And you need that aura, that surrounding, like, you need the personalities.
Yeah, true.
To support the sport.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, every sport has their characters and their individuals who do good storytelling, who have that energy and aura, who care about the sport and about the community. And
what it is about to be a kitesurfer. Like what you said now, like you didn't do it to win a competition. It's getting in my opinion, it's getting sometimes way too professional, all that stuff, like doing the spins. Also with windsurfing, they do so many spins. I don't give a shit.
It loses the essence of the
It loses
sport.
the essence, and then they go and they don't make party, and they don't. Yeah.
How can you?
How can you?
They're the next generation.
Yeah.
Get partying.
And when you watch that as a non-windsurfer or non-surfer, like saying like, yeah, it's a nice move, but you don't think like, oh, I want to have that life. That's a cool life.
Exactly.
Like when you see Robin Nash, you think like, shit, I want to be that guy in Hawaii, surfing, but also making all that nice party stuff and talking about life and.
100%. But I think this is the beauty of life, and when something great or when progression happens in the sport, it also takes away from something, right? So things are always equal, always balanced, and the guys are now very, competitive, very focused on landing world first. But it takes away from their lifestyle, their partying. So the one goes up, but the other one goes down. So there is a nice balance to be found.
It's too professional and too much. I don't know. Maybe it's industry in the background. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a natural progression. It will balance things out.
It's in all kind of sport that the heroes, this like epic people, they compare it to music. Like there is Michael Jackson, for example, and he was like he was looking crazy. Okay, my mom knew Michael Jackson. She didn't like him. He was grabbing between his legs, like stuff. And now we have this Taylor Swift. I don't know how she looks like. Seriously.
Yeah.
I know her songs from the radio, but she's just like.
I know what she looks like.
She's gray. It's gray.
Yeah.
It's good music. It's gray music. Yeah, and that's what happens in sport. And I think you always have to have two sides. You have to be the master of something, but you also have to transport the energy.
And I also think it's timing, right? So the persons who came into medicine at the right times were big breakthroughs, legends, and the same in sports, right?
The same thing in medicine, true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's around for longer now. More things happen, so it's harder to stand out as well. So that's also why you have less legends, I think, coming up, because the big breakthroughs have happened, and that's the stories people will remember. And now adding an extra rotation or doing a slight change on the medicine is not that impactful to be a legend, right?
But it was never about the rotations. It was like this guy, what is called Mike Eskimo. You know, have you ever heard the name?
No.
Mike Eskimo. It was this windsurfer.
I mean, I've heard the name.
He was actually Austrian. He took a one-way ticket to Hawaii. That's the legend. He took a one-way ticket to Hawaii, and then he made pictures for Kimsey and all that stuff. And I think he just made crazy jumps for the pictures. He never landed that.
Oh wow, that's illegal. My coach always told me you can only use the pictures of tricks you landed, and I always stuck with that.
No. No, it was just and
poster boy.
Yeah, it's just poster boy. Yeah, but it was good pictures. I mean, it's got the spirit.
Yeah. What is your purpose on the planet?
My purpose?
Yeah.
It changed. I have kids now. It's very easy to answer that question. My purpose is to make my kids going to windsurf.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that?
I want to have them a good life. I want to have them. I can't say a better life than because I had a very nice life. So let's say an equal life. And this is my own purpose. Is to take care about my family and my profession, what I do is actually my hobby because it allows me to repair stuff, but it's shifting now with social media and so on. I just started this like a hobby on the side, but now I see the opportunities. Like you can now I can treat one person at a time, and what I try to do on my social media page, like Instagram, I just like to get rid of all the bullshit I hate so much in medicine. So, and that's what I do. It's just for fun. I don't make any profits out of it, but it gives me joy to educate people.
Nice. That's nice. Sharing information, sharing knowledge.
I'm now after long. I'm in a position where I don't give a shit. And it feels so good.
Nice.
I don't really give a shit about anything and opinions about anybody. And this is about since 2 years, I guess. And it makes me feel free. Yeah.
Nice.
First
That's
time.
beautiful. It's nice to find that. And
Yeah.
I think that suits you well and challenge the norm, right? I think.
Yeah. And I don't know where the journey is going at the moment. It's very difficult because I really like to do what I do, like operating, repairing stuff. But I start more and more enjoying like educating.
Yeah, nice.
Which makes no money. Yeah.
Well,
But
one way
I
it's
mean,
gonna pay off.
you can always make a course or something as like
Yeah, it sounds a bit
but you know
but
that always takes the purpose out of it. In the moment you start selling stuff, you lose your credibility.
yeah,
That's the problem.
selling a transformative journey now for all surgeons alike. Please buy the course for $399.
Sorry, there is no course. I wish. You cannot make a donation. Yeah.
No, but I think adding value
Adding
by
value.
pure passion and authenticity. I think that's great.
Exactly, and at the end they always sell some, I don't know, like protein powder or whatever. But it's limited. It's limited what I can do with education, of course, because it's expensive to produce videos, to do that stuff, and it's time consuming. And I also want to go with my kids on the water.
Exactly.
We all want to do that.
And yeah, one thing, like, how old are your kids?
They're 11 and 8.
Okay, how are you gonna get them to start windsurfing or follow their dreams?
I put them under pressure.
The Austrian way. Nice.
Like, in your age, I was already doing. No. And thank God, I had a father. He never put pressure on me, and yeah, that's a good thing and a bad thing because it doesn't push you. So you get very slowly better, but you don't have to pressure. You can go in each direction you want. I mean, he's a windsurfer. I was a windsurfer, so probably there was some influence. But with my kids, I just give them opportunities. So they get almost every opportunity they want. They can try it out. And I got my son a skateboard when he was 2. Yeah. And like he will use it in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He started skateboarding about the last year. Yeah. So they get the opportunity. They can play around with it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. They stop and do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's very good to give them the opportunities. And someone told me the best thing you can do for your children is to live an inspiring life yourself.
Exactly.
Because they're gonna copy and see and do whatever you do. So
Yeah.
don't be too scared of that front loop now. No, I mean, so you don't have fear in the operating room like in your profession because it's calculated risk. You know exactly what procedure you're doing.
Yeah.
But you have more fear of going out windsurfing, right? So how do you overcome that? Do you still want to get better? Do you want to learn new things? Or are you windsurfing for longevity and using it as your energy and emotion outlet to recharge?
I don't have the pressure to improve myself that much. So for me, the most important thing is to be here, be on the water, have fun. I hate it when it's getting worse. You know, like when you haven't been out for the water for a couple of days. Like, ah, shit, I was better. Like, I'm happy if something gets really good. I never watch videos like to improve myself. I just go there and play around. Yeah, it's very relaxed, but I want to have the water days. That's what I'm focused about. The more days I have on the water in the year, the happier I am. I don't care actually what I do. I'm really pissed if the wind is not good.
Yeah, I think we all have that.
but yeah, I came here for a week and it was no wind. It's horrible. It's like pain. But that's surfing. I mean, that's a part of the game. I always believe it's me, you know, but then you meet other people, they have the same problem.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I think also now my goal, I don't need to prove anyone anything with a kite.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm still putting pressure up on myself to get better. I still want to do these kite loop board offs. I still want to do this super loop, these crazy tricks. But yeah, I think it's a good point that we learn through play and also to have clear goals because yeah, if you windsurf just for exactly the fun, the feeling, and the most days on the water, I think then you can take a lot of fear and pressure off yourself and just really enjoy being on the water, right? And I think that's very inspirational to have that feeling, to give that to yourself. And know where you set the boundaries.
I think the older you get, the more difficult it is to get water days. For me.
Why? Responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
Yeah.
I was like 3 months summer holidays, got my little bus and stayed in Tarifa. Costs nothing.
Nice, perfect.
Costs nothing, and now I can't do that.
Exactly.
And I have more money.
Yeah,
And I can't do that. You know.
It's all in the planning.
It's
Always plan those 3 months Cape Town, and nobody touches the schedule.
Yeah.
If we can put your kids to school here.
I mean, what I'm doing is like I do a lot of telemedicine. Like I just have my patients online. I can do that here, but I cannot make a living out of this. You know, and my profession is always connected with my hands, like with a person. I have no business, so. Yeah. And the funny thing, when I started medicine, I thought it's a good profession as well because I can do it all over the world. All humans are equal.
People break legs everywhere.
People break legs everywhere. I can, if I want to live in about 20 years in South Africa, I can do that. But it's not that way. Every country has their own regulations, and they don't want other people to come in the country and take their jobs.
Yeah.
So it's so funny, yeah? Because I come here, I take the jobs, and the South Africans, they want to come to Europe, they take my job there. I mean, we can just switch.
Yeah.
Why don't we switch?
That's fine.
But they have regulations. Yeah, I can basically only work in Europe.
All right. But yeah, it sounds like a pretty universal job because we're all human beings.
It's not the way.
And what is your favorite procedure? Like, what do you love working on, or what has been some of the most complex cases you were able?
You know, I started with trauma. So trauma, you cannot choose what you do. So it's the whole body. Actually, I came from that trauma school, like where you also treat the head and the abdomen, like all that injuries. The guys before me, the older guys, they did everything. So yeah, they played the whole body. But medicine got more specialized. You know, like it's getting more narrowed up. You do a joint, you do something, and the older you get, the more focus you got on a joint. And I think the future is that you know, people spend less time in work, so they want to be efficient in work. I want to be efficient when I'm there. I'm working. I'm not there. I do something else. So also in the hospitals, like they go to procedures. I think this is the future. Like you want to go, you want to get a crucial ligament. You go to the guy, and he only makes crucial ligaments. He's not doing anything else on the knee. So now we have the knee surgeons. They do everything on the knee. I started thinking in that direction. So I do most of the time now shoulders.
Okay.
So I ended up in the shoulder. Also hand. I was doing a lot of hand surgery, and I'm still doing a lot of knee because I started with knee and I really like it. This is the main parts I do now, but it's.
Which one is the most complex? Shoulder?
Shoulder, it's the most interesting.
Yeah.
It's the most interesting joint, yes, because it's 3D, you can move it in all the directions, you know, like, and the knees just, yeah. But knees also very cool, very interesting, and a lot of injuries happen on the knee. You have a lot more patients on the knee. Probably had a knee surgery. Have you had?
No.
Oh, cool.
my knees are strong. The skinny legs, but the knees are strong. Cool. And they've been taking some landings.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
I mean, I dislocated my kneecap once when I was 14, but it popped back in, and
that's it.
A couple of weeks rest, and it was fine.
Okay, and you popped out your knee. With kitesurfing, it was a trauma.
That was with wakeboarding.
Wakeboarding, yeah, that's.
My first injury was actually breaking my arm into both bones. Split.
You had a plate there?
Yeah, I had a plate there when I was 11 years old in Austria.
You had 2 plates?
Yes, because the doctor in Austria, he put me in a plaster with my elbow still dislocated.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's what you do in Austria.
Top job. So then I came back to the Netherlands after spending still 10 days in Austria, and then they had to break it again and put a plate in. And
really?
My dad never wanted to tell me which doctor it was because I really wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah. But because in Austria, we actually have a very strict trauma school. So that should not happen in these days.
No, I mean, it was when I was 11 years old in Sulden.
In Sulden?
At the slopes. But anyways, that was my first injury. Then, the second one was popping my kneecap. The third one, that was when I was 11. That was when I was 14. When I was 17, I stretched my ligaments in my ankle. Then when I was 21, I had ice picking done in my left ankle because the cartilage was worn out.
Why? It was 21.
Yes, no, it's in 2009.
How did that happen? Have you had an injury?
No, yeah, just the non-stop. I've got slightly flat feet, so I think, yeah, from walking and from kiting that much, just the pressure on my cartilage was just too much, and it worn out, so it was bone on bone at one point.
Really?
So then, yeah, they did.
Oh, probably you had osteochondritis, so the cartilage falls off at the one part a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
They took
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in 2009, I did ice picking here with the Dr. P.B. Richard van Boorman.
In South Africa.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to South Africa and do surgery.
Very good medical
Yeah, no,
care
they're
here.
really good. They're really good doctors here in South Africa. I mean, they have the experience. They have the cases.
Exactly. So he fixed me in 2009 and didn't have problems with that anymore. I mean, I should have had 9 months rest, and after 3 months, I started kite surfing again.
Why would you do what a doctor says?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Morons. Yeah. They just work for the pharma industry, you know, and for
Exactly.
the ice picking industry.
Try to keep you off the water.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was 2009. Then I went pretty good, and then in 2015 I got diagnosed with cancer. So then I needed to go through chemotherapy.
You got everything, huh?
I got quite a nice list of experiences.
Shit.
Then I came back to my kite surfing fully healthy, prepared with sponsors and big projects. And then on the first day of the first project, I shattered my ankle in 20 pieces.
That was on the first day after your comeback.
Yeah. On the first day of my 3-month trip of a project, like filming project. So yeah, shattered my ankle in 20 pieces. And at first, I really didn't know it was that bad. But yeah, then he started telling me about the scans and that it really was in 20 pieces. They even found cartilage which had shot off. They found it here somewhere. So it was quite a mess. You looked at the pictures?
I looked at the pictures. I saw yesterday, I saw your ankle, and immediately what doctors do, like trauma, like you look at the ankle like, oh, this poor guy, he cannot move it, and like, I could have done it better, you know, like it's immediately.
I would have done a better alignment.
That's what we do in the Morgenbesprechung, you know. It's not about talking about the cases. Actually, it's talking about the faults of the other doctors.
Exactly.
You know?
How much better you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or would have done it. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and then you couldn't do the job if you don't have that mindset.
No,
I could do
of course.
Seriously.
Yeah, I can fix it better. Like,
We all have that. No matter how good or bad we are, we always think like, yeah, we could have done.
I think it's the same as construction, right? In construction, my dad is in construction, and he can always fix the project better than the other.
Exactly, because when you don't have that mindset, I mean, some patient comes to you and like, maybe I should send him to the other doctor because he can do it better.
No, it's not happening.
It's not possible.
I'm gonna do this. This is my project.
And I will do it the best way. Yeah,
I'll make him walk again.
exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, but then I saw the pictures, and yeah, this is mass destruction. It was mass. It was the cartilage and the joint line was totally destroyed and broken into pieces. Yeah, that's why they put the fixer to Extrem.
Yeah, that was a bit freaky because I came out of the hospital. It was like, yeah, the swelling needs to go down. But then I had like this external fixator with like spikes sticking out. And like, oh, that's
How did it feel?
a bit bloody. Yeah, just
Was it painful?
it was slightly painful, but just for the mind, it was fucked because you just see like these sticks sticking out of your body and like, yeah, it's just not nice. If you hit it somewhere, it hurts. So yeah, it was not nice. And then yeah, they put the plates in, 3 plates, 15 screws, I think.
I saw Striker.
Yeah,
We have something in
you
common.
must know Striker.
Yeah, of course.
Me a little bit too well as well. No, I was in the hospital, and then the guys from Striker called me up. They were like, "Hey, our product is inside of your ankle. Would you like to do a patient story at our sales meeting, at our European sales meeting in Barcelona
Seriously?
in 2020?" Because some of the Striker employees, they're kite surfers, so they knew me and they knew my story. So
Okay.
they invited me to do the patient story, and yeah, I did for 2,000 people. I did a nice talk there.
And you got a Striker kite.
And then I got a
You got
nice
a
ambassadorship with them. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Creating some content and also taking some of their employees in Kiel for a kite surfing experience. And yeah, we had this great partnership going on, so it was beautiful.
Yeah, I never saw that before on an athlete that work with Striker or other of these companies. You know, I was like,
I mean, it's a 50,000 employee company, so
yeah, it's big. It's
within
huge.
that company, there's a lot of kite surfers already. So they have basically their own little kite club now, and
That's right.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they know it. They know it.
And yeah, it was just very nice to also see that side of the business, and yeah, to get that opportunity and see what they do for healthcare. And
I think it's done pretty good. Yeah, you could.
yeah.
I
I mean, after they fixed me, we still hope that I was able to walk without the ankle arthrodesis,
Yeah.
so without the fusion. But within 1 year, I had so much pain with every step, and I walked through 1 centimeter of bone.
You got a nail in there. You got a fusion afterwards because I haven't
yeah,
seen that.
yeah,
I haven't seen
exactly.
that
Yeah, so
pictures.
I had,
Have you put that pictures online of the fusion?
No. I will show them to you.
Is there a nail from the down below?
No, it's a plate on the front.
Oh, it's a plate on the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just the upper joint is fused, so I cannot do this. And
Yes.
but yeah, because I walked through 1 centimeter of joint, it
Have-
was just too painful.
Have you thought about a prosthesis?
Well, yeah, when this doesn't work out, I will put like a full striker ankle.
Striker. Yeah. Think about
If
that.
it's needed, it probably works better than this thing now.
And we all want to see if that works with kite surfing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I will
We're all
happily
curious
test it.
about that.
Exactly, me too.
No.
So yeah, maybe one day I get to try it out if I snap it again, or if
How does it feel with kite surfing? Can you do that?
with kite surfing, it works. I mean, I'm definitely missing a lot because I cannot do a squat. I cannot bend my ankle to take the impact. So I land most of my things on the right.
But that happens
or on the
over
left.
40. That happens anyway.
So yeah, I kite my way around it, and I cannot land on my toe side because that is very painful. Then I feel all the plates
yeah.
through the bone, like
Yeah.
that's impossible. But I can land on my heel side, and yeah, I can kite my way around it. So I'm very happy about that.
Are you more careful now?
Yeah, I'm definitely more careful because I don't want to break it again or break anything again. And yeah, I'm doing everything with quite some securing outlook. And
Would you do everything the same? Like like when you see the consequences, because you don't know the consequences. I think what I'm talking about on my channel is always like people, they believe that we can fix everything like 100%. Like you just have to go to the best doctor and they have everything, all the tools, and they can just fix it, you know?
no, yeah, I'm definitely partly crippled now. So
Have you thought about like that there are things like they cannot be fixed?
yeah, this cannot be fixed.
This cannot be fixed. Like, but for example, crucial ligaments, like they tear all the time. Yeah, I go playing football, I tear my crucial ligament, and I fix it. But what I tell people is it's not the same like before. It's just like 80%. Even if it's super good, it's 80%, and then they go playing football again.
And
it's not better like the original one.
Exactly, yeah.
It cannot be better than the original. And they tear it again because they do it after 2 months.
Exactly, yeah. So better safe than sorry. Try to avoid injuries at all costs, but don't let it kill your dreams.
What about your kids? What if your son says like, I want to be a professional kite surfer and I want to do how many loops do they do now? They do triple loop, and he wants to do the quadruple loop. And you think like, shit, this is a bad idea. You want your son seeing flying around on the Sunset Beach to training this?
I mean, I was 14 years old when my dad told me and my brother, okay, this is in your hands now. Do whatever you want. Because we were in France on a holiday, kiting holiday. And there were like 4-meter waves and like super strong wind. And we as 14 years old wanted to go in the ocean there. And he was like, I cannot do anything about this, so it's in your hands. And he trusted us, and yeah, we've been taking it from there on out. And of course, it was very heavy for him to let go, but I think you need to let go. He needs to fall on his own face. He needs to learn his own lessons. I can share my perspectives, my ways, and give him as much input as he possibly needs, but he needs to find out himself anyway. So,
but there are things you can repair.
Yeah, exactly. But that is what he has to live with, his choices.
So
of course, you try to limit the choice of a child, like to have big consequences. So that's why you go step by step. If I for sure know he's not capable of it, then if he wants to jump from here to here, I'll tell him, hey, that's not a great idea. Let's not.
Would you do something different? Can you do something different?
Like
not getting injured. Like, did you just didn't double check the equipment, or did you just risk too much on the first day? Or
yeah, it's always these stupid little moments. Fatigue plays a big one. I think my first injury stretching my ligaments was a bit of fatigue because I was kiting for 2-3 hours, and then it happened on one of my one more runs, like one of my last runs, one foot slipped out and then got in the water, twisted my ankle. Shattering my ankle was just because, yeah, partly gear failure, partly pilot error. Because my hand was touching the quick release and then it opened and then it flew away, and I was riding boots. So I could not kick my board off and fell from 10 meters straight down, bam, on the water.
You were riding boots, you told me yesterday, because your ankle was unstable.
Yeah, and it just felt much more secure to me. I could handle much more power, take bigger landings, my foot wouldn't slip out. But doing big air and bindings, if you look at it now, you're like, that's absolutely stupid.
Do the guys do that still?
No, it's highly not recommended, no.
Yeah, because I go with my kids, I go wakeboarding quite often, but I hate that bindings.
Yeah.
And you know, the worst injuries I see with wakeboarding. They break everything. They dislocate shoulders, they break their ankles, like their feet. There was one girl in Austria, she cut off her arm with the rope.
Yeah, no, wakeboarding is actually very dangerous, and it's such a full body exercise, full body sport. And yeah, with the bindings, you get such a face slammers, whiplashes, or hitting the rails, the kickers, they get full face reconstructions. Wakeboarding is intense.
And my son is totally into it now.
Oh yes, nice. So yeah,
we had to go wakeboarding every day.
Oh wow.
I had to drive to Blue Rock. I had to go
Nice.
to this. And there's a new wakeboard lift here in Dirty Habits.
Exactly, the Dirty Habits playground.
You're told Dirty Habits playground. We had to do all that stuff, and I was like, shit. Why did he choose? Why not kiteboarding?
You're leaving on the 16th, right?
You're right.
On the 15th, we have a Mudita festival.
I know.
At the Dirty Habits playground.
Oh, this is with you?
Yeah. Well, I'm DJing there, and
you're
there's
DJing?
skydiving and motocrossing, and it's going to be a nice one.
Cool.
So please join us.
Yes, I would love to.
Nice.
I would love to.
Wicked.
Yeah.
What a wonderful chat. What can we close off with? Do you have any advice for athletes on recovery? Because I think recovery is always the thing that people struggle mostly with. Like, do I listen to the physio? Do I take rest? I mean, it's different for everyone and every injury, but any advice?
Yeah, recovery in athletes is totally different, like in normal people, because they, you know, like with a cruciate ligament, the thing what you have to do is most of the doctors, they give you the advice like for normal people, like you have to go back to sport in 9 months and you do physiotherapy. But for example, if you do that, you lean back for 9 months, do a little bit of physiotherapy, you have no more muscles, and you're weak. Yeah, and you need another 9 months to build it up again. So the difficult thing is to work on the edge. And this is very individual and very, very difficult to listen to your body, to listen to your doctor, what is possible, and not go to 0, but go to 10%, 20%, and then you go up from there little by little, and always listen to the body and stay on the edge. And you need a good physiotherapist, an active one. You need a lot of money actually if you want to do it very good, because you need all that specialists around you. You can't do it by yourself, and you have to have the capability to hold yourself until it really heals, because the biggest impact is time. The most of the cruciate ligaments, they tear after 3 to 4 months when the people feel safe. You know, first they have pain, then they do physiotherapy, and then they like, oh, everything feels totally normal. It's like I can go playing football again. And then things happen, and they don't want to go to the gym. Like that's also the thing. Is like they see these athletes in TV, you know, like, and they come back to sport after six months. But they don't see what they do in the meantime. Yeah. They think they just get the operation, and after 6 months they go and play football again. They don't see that they go to the gym every second day.
Take care of your nutrition.
Take care of nutrition, doing the boring stuff, a lot of the boring stuff, and more of the boring stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And it is that is the main part, because like when I had to recover my ankle, like the movement, I could move it 1 centimeter, and I just burst out crying. I was like, I've got such a long way to go. It's gonna take me forever to make this thing move again, you know. So yeah,
I had
taking the time is a good one.
I had a conversation with Benny Vizani. It was my first podcast I ever did. It's German, unfortunately, but he went to the Olympic Games. He's a trampoline Austrian trampoline artist athlete, and he has torn his cruciate ligament before. So what he was telling me, like, yeah, he trained. He didn't want the operation. He wanted to go there without the operation because there was no time for operation. So he would have quit Olympia. So he went there, and yeah, he was training on the trampoline 5 times, 6 times a week. And I asked him, yeah, but did you also go to the gym? He's like, yes, of course, I get to go to the gym 7 times a week. So every day he was on the trampoline and in the gym.
Way to do it.
So, and the people, they just go back on the football field and just like, they don't train, they don't build up their muscles before and all that stuff. So this is actually rehab. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and if you got your knee busted or your ankle busted, you can still work out the rest of your body. So
yeah, you can work. Yeah, you have to
Exactly.
because you except you're just like skiing. Wait for the next ski season to go get the Jägermeister on the on the Hütte, you know?
On the Hütte, yeah. After ski, let's go.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that's good. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And,
thank you very much. It was
inviting me here.
very, very interesting. I enjoyed it very much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So thanks for checking out the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels. And
Yes.
yeah, no matter the weather, don't let fear be a killer of your greatness. Use fear to your advantage. Work through it. We all have fear. I can have fear of getting cancer again, of shattering my ankle again. But I will work my way through it, visualize it, and then do my dreams. So happy dreaming and stay alive.